Welcome back, everyone, to the High Tempo Sports Podcast, episode 125. Today, we are back in action. Want to give a quick apology for the our last episode that was on YouTube. The audio cut out after like 15 minutes in. The audio version on Spotify and Apple Podcasts was completely fine, so hopefully...
Works great.
Yeah, hopefully you just transitioned over there if you were watching on YouTube. But hopefully this episode is up and good because we're going to have some TikTok content hopefully to post out of it.
Crazy hot takes. Be prepared.
Yeah, this is the hot take episode. No, I'm just kidding.
Kevin McHale is the greatest player ever of any sport. Tennis, anything.
Greatest athlete of all time. But we have a lot to cover today. It is a huge week in the NFL. It is also our last week of weekly picks this week. We have a lot of...
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. You're right.
Maybe.
Last week of regular season weekly picks. And we have a lot of news things to cover, so I think we should just start off.
Let's jump right in.
Let's start off with the big topic, the big thing that happened this past week. Antonio Brown has been all over the news. Every time you turn on the TV, it's about AB. Something that we have become accustomed to over the past several years, Antonio Brown. I feel, before we even talk about what happened, do you like Antonio Brown? Have you always been a fan of Antonio Brown?
No. I haven't not always been, but I do like AB.
Right.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah. Yep. I like AB.
Okay.
I think he's cool.
Yeah.
Do you like AB?
Yeah, I've always loved Antonio Brown.
I think he's cool as shit.
I've always been a huge fan of him. Like, even when he was on the Steelers, I never have liked the Steelers, but I always liked AB, obviously, just because he was from Central. And
I think he has like a top 20 prime of all time. That's just like off the top of my head. His prime was literally ridiculous.
I mean, he should be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, easily.
Exactly.
It is ridiculous how good his prime was.
Yeah.
He was so good. So good.
That's because a lot of people have very mixed opinions on Antonio Brown, but regardless, I think they should agree that he is very good at what he does.
Here's the thing about me and AB. We have a shared thing that we both are the same, and that we hate the Steelers.
Oh, right.
Me and him are the same, and that's when I really started liking AB. When he started hating the Steelers, I've always hated the Steelers. We have the mutual hatred.
It's like a nice connection.
Yeah.
It's like when Aaron Rodgers started to hate the Packers.
Yeah, or just like hate everybody.
Yeah.
Just become mean.
Yeah, that too. But Antonio Brown, if you did not see by now, which I would be shocked if you didn't, got into an argument with head coach Bruce Arians on the sideline of Sunday's game against the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium, and took off of his shoulder pads, his jersey, threw his undershirt, gloves into the stands, and did some jumping jacks in the end zone and hightailed it out of there.
Peace out signs.
Peace out, and he was done. Bruce Arians, after the game, said he was done as a Buck. They didn't officially release him until today, actually, but in the past, 48 hours, there's been a lot of new coverage that has come out. Do you want to talk about that, or do you want me to kind of say what mainly has come out? Because I'm not 100%. I read the thing that AB posted, the thing in his notes and everything, but
I've done a ton of reading about it. And then I thought, do you see Bruce Arians' comment about it today?
Yeah, right. His thing in the press conference, yeah.
AB, the argument happened, and right after the game, Bruce Arians comes out and he says, he refused to go in. For some reason, he's mad. He wouldn't go in. I asked him to play multiple times, and he refused.
Yeah.
And so
that was pretty much all that happened right after the game.
Yeah, and then they were all talking about his mental health and everything, and we hope we can find help from him because we don't know why he was upset. Right. Well, then AB comes out with a statement 2 days later saying, no, it wasn't a mental health issue. Nothing happened. It was the fact that I was hurt. Everybody knew I was hurt, and they were trying to force me to play on an injured foot.
Right.
He was like, I was literally hurt, and I told coach this before, and I rolled it on a 2-point play the week before, and I already had an injured foot. And then he comes out, and there's doctor's reports where now he needs surgery right away on this ankle.
He said there's an MRI that shows multiple broken bones in his foot or in the ankle, and no one has seen the MRI yet. It is not publicly came out, but he is going to get surgery done. So I would assume that the MRI is legit. I don't know why he would be saying he's going to go undertake surgery. So.
And then he said even up till today, the Buccaneers were still trying to control who he was going to go see as a doctor, telling him he's not allowed to go see his own doctors. He's only allowed to go through team doctors, which looks extremely suspicious.
Well, technically, he was still a Buccaneer up until
and so
today,
they could do that.
Yeah.
But then they released him, and all this comes out. And then Bruce Arians comes out and says, no, he was mad that he wasn't getting targets, which brings up a whole nother issue with his contract, because his contract states 8 more catches, $330K.
Yeah.
It was like 1 or 2 more touchdowns or something like that.
1 more touchdown, 55 more receiving yards.
All worth $330K.
Yeah,
Each
so
individual
could have gotten
stat.
$1 million. The only one is the 8 catches he might not have gotten in 2 games, but like a touchdown probably, 50 yards probably.
And the Bucks have been notable for freezing players. They did it. I was reading an article and they mentioned how they did it to Victor Cruz a few years ago, and they froze him out of his contract, trying to neutralize him in games and not use him as much, so that he can't reach those contract bonuses, which is a whole different issue. That could be an issue in itself of, well, yeah, that's unfair to AB. If you're not giving him the targets he needs to make his money,
Right.
yeah, I'd be pretty upset too.
And the thing is, though, that isn't something that was even brought up by Antonio Brown, though. So it's like somebody's lying in this case. Like you said, AB pretty much claimed that he is hurt. He shows text messages between him. We don't know if it actually was Bruce Arians
exactly.
or not. But text messages with him and Bruce Arians, like talking about AB's ankle injury. He sends a picture of him getting like it worked on or whatever. And he clearly says, like, the ankle's bothering me from the 2-point last week. I'll let you know if I'm ready to go. And he said, like, yeah, call me whenever you can. Like, it seemed like a legit text message between a coach and a player. And then for Bruce Arians, obviously immediately for him to come out and say it wasn't about the injury. But then 2 days later, after Antonio Brown says it is about the injury, Bruce Arians is still on this side of it's not. He never said anything to me about the injury. So I feel like it's, as far as from a proof standpoint goes, it's easier to believe Antonio Brown because Bruce Arians is just saying this, like what happened, whereas AB kind of is showing proof. But at the same time, I love Antonio Brown, but he has been someone to cause issues and cause trouble in his time in the NFL. And Bruce Arians is someone has been a head coach for a very long time in the NFL with not a bad track record. So I mean, I'm not saying I'm taking Bruce Arians' side or anything, but it's weird. Somebody is lying here.
Yeah, and somebody it was brought up in the article. He looked really, really, really okay running off the field. He looked really fine, not even a limp.
Yeah, and AB came out and said like it's different because I had the adrenaline of quitting my job pretty much. Like
I wasn't cutting and planting off it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you don't even have
if you're not
little
going
limp.
in the game too because your ankle's hurt, like I don't know.
And it sucks because AB's history is going to play a part in this. Like his whole history, like you said, causing problems everywhere he's been. And that includes Central Michigan. Didn't start at Pittsburgh. I see so many people talking about CTE after the perfect hit.
I know, yeah.
That's just the
it's
most
like, no,
BS
he has been like this. If he didn't have problems, he wouldn't have went to Central Michigan. He would have went to a top college. Like he's always had the talent.
Yeah, and so it's really sad. And knowing that his history is going to come up, but at the same time, if he could be lying again. I mean, it could just be him.
It could have just be him. He freaked out on the sideline and got pissed off at Bruce Arians, and Bruce Arians wasn't having it.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But I don't want to say that because it could not be true. It's just like, and obviously I think Antonio Brown's time in the NFL is most likely done, but I said that a year and a half ago before the Bucs signed him too. Tom Brady was kind of the only reason he was still sticking around in the NFL. And a part of the reason that also makes me not want to go for AB is because the front office / coaching staff has probably already been hot with AB this year for his suspension he received earlier this year for lying about his vaccination status. And now this happens 2 weeks later. It's just like
thin ice.
Exactly. Yeah. I assume that the front office and Bruce Arians are probably already a little fed up with Antonio Brown. Yeah, he's a great player. Like he's going to help you win a Super Bowl. He did last year, but it's just tough.
Yeah, his attitude has always hindered him, and it really showed. And it does suck because watching the video of him getting thrown off, the toughest part for me is watching his teammate, Mike Evans, just plead and beg him to stay on the field. And AB just won't even give him like a second look or say anything to him. And it's just like really hard because as a teammate, that's just got to be awful.
Yeah.
Like just knowing there's nothing you can do to make this guy happy to stay. But
I know.
It really sucks, and I do feel bad for AB, and I feel bad for the Bucs. It's a shitty situation to be in when
especially
you're trying to win a title.
I mean, you're a week away of going into the playoffs. Like you're trying to go back-to-back, win back-to-back titles. Tom Brady is your quarterback. It's tougher to be in the news for a situation like this. And who knows? Maybe no one's lying, and maybe it was a huge communication.
Yeah.
Because he showed the text messages between him and Bruce Arians. So, like, either that wasn't Bruce Arians or Bruce Arians is lying.
skimmed through it.
Yeah.
He did
I forgot he said
he
that.
did say that. I skimmed.
Sorry, I'm old. I just forget shit sometimes.
But shout out Tom Brady. Amidst all of this, goes and has the game-winning drive.
Yeah, they still come back and beat
on
the
the
Jets.
worst play call I've ever seen out of the Jets to try and score the ball 4th and 2 instead of kicking it. You are playing against the greatest quarterback to ever play football, and you're like, you know what? Let's give him the football
but it's the
back.
Jets.
Dude,
like,
just kick the field
what do you
goal.
expect out of the Jets?
They probably thought, if we don't go for it, they win the game, and we still get a high pick. And if we make it, we win the game.
Yeah,
we beat
it's
the
cool.
Bucs.
Either or, it's cool. So
That's
whatever.
probably what the thought process
We'll see what it
was.
comes, because obviously some more stuff. Maybe some more stuff won't come out, because I doubt Bruce Arians and the Bucs are really
in the mood.
They're more focused on
Yeah.
Carolina this upcoming Sunday rather than this incident. So, AB, I wish the best for him. I would love to see him back in the NFL. The Lions, we need another wide receiver. That's all I'm gonna say.
Come home, baby. Yeah, you think he wants to be in cold weather?
We play in Ford Field, man.
Dude, it doesn't mean you don't gotta live in Detroit. And he wouldn't even play without the right helmet in Oakland, dude. Couldn't imagine him playing in the cold.
So let's talk about the college football playoff. We have yet to do a podcast since the college football playoff happened. The first game, obviously, was Alabama versus Cincinnati. Kind of what exactly was supposed to happen happened. Alabama. I mean, Cincinnati had a respectable game. It's not like they just got jumped from the get-go.
It was more respectable than Michigan's game.
Yeah, honestly, it probably was.
They played them tougher than Michigan did.
Yeah, and it was a game for a little bit longer, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But Alabama gets the dub against Cincinnati, and then Georgia, Michigan. I mean, do you want to talk about your team or
Georgia just came out? I didn't watch the second half.
Yeah.
I was done with it after damn near after the first 1.5 quarters. And it's not like I was like so pissed I didn't want to watch. It was just a New Year's
it just
Eve.
wasn't, and it also just like wasn't a very good
Fun.
game.
What was there to enjoy? Hutch
after
wasn't making
the first
plays.
2 quarters, it wasn't a really good game at all.
Yeah, and granted, I did see accidentally turn. I looked and I see Andrel Anthony scoring.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa! I was like, let's go, JJ. But that was really it. I'm super excited. I think this team has a shot to be unbelievably good again next year. You're returning some really key players. Ronnie Bell will be back. Donovan Edwards, Blake Corum, J.J. McCarthy. We're getting a new center that's better. We're returning 3 out of our 5 offensive linemen. I say a new center, it's better. He was rated better this
The defensive line
season.
is going to take a hit, obviously.
And losing Ajabo and Hill today announces, and that's scary.
And
but
obviously Hutchinson,
we've got recruits coming in. We're going to be a good team next year. We're not going to be bad. I really hope not. After this year, I hope we come in with the same attitude, the underdog attitude. Michigan plays way better as the underdog than they do as the favorite.
Yeah, this season proved that.
Yeah, absolutely. We started off unranked, and we've ended with a Heisman finalist.
That is something that hasn't been a thing, because the last 5 or 6 years, Michigan comes in top 10, top 15 ranked to start the year off. So it's
just
very
because they're Michigan.
high expectations. Yeah, whereas this year it was kind of like the opposite. Like you said, they
It
were
was the
climbing their way up throughout the year.
Yeah, it was awesome. What a fun season. I won't dwell on this loss at all. Not even a little bit. I had so much fun this year, and beating Ohio State is all. It sucks to say as a Michigan fan, because it sounds really sorry that that's our national championship. But that's got to be the starting point.
Yeah,
you got to start somewhere.
That definitely is the starting point.
Can't make the playoff without beating Ohio State.
Exactly. You can't win the Big Ten without beating Ohio State. So
it was awesome. I love this season. Can't wait for next year.
Yeah, Georgia Bama will play this upcoming Monday for the college football championship. A lot of shit talking from Georgia this week. They were interviewing a couple of guys on ESPN, and they were just like, "Yeah, I thought we made it pretty obvious that we were the best 2 teams all year. I don't know why anyone else would think that we haven't been. We've shown nothing other than that." Yeah, you can say that now, obviously, after that it is you 2 left. But we'll see. I really don't know who's gonna win. I'll probably give the edge to Alabama. Just because they beat Georgia, kind of not handedly, but they had a very good win against Georgia a couple weeks ago. So I would probably lean towards Alabama, but it's probably going to be a good game.
I'm taking the Bulldogs. I'm taking the Bulldogs all day. But actually, though, whoever said that, I don't like.
It was
that
Stetson
guy.
Bennett. It was their QB.
Screw that guy. Dude. Bama almost lost to Auburn. Auburn was awful. Dude.
Yeah, exactly. Another bowl game talk. Central Michigan moves into the Sun Bowl and gets the easiest bowl W ever. They actually almost choked it, but for the most part, CMU pretty much dominated this game against Washington State. Lou Nichols showed out, and they won. Pimpleton is headed to the draft, but Lou Nichols should be coming back for Central, so everyone was talking on TV, too, hyping up Central for next year. This was like the highest viewed bowl game that a MAC school was in the last, 5 years or something, obviously because CMU wasn't supposed to be in this game
Only
originally.
MAC team to beat a Power 5 team in a bowl game.
Yeah, and a lot.
Hell yeah.
That's hype.
Go Chippewas. Fire up chips, baby.
Is a big time dub for them, and excited for next year.
Yeah, y'all should have seen MP. It was crazy.
Yeah, we went nuts, bro.
Not really.
Last college football news. We have a couple things, actually. Jaden Reed is returning to Michigan State. He announced
dope.
that a couple days ago, which is huge. Jalen Naylor announced he was headed to the draft, but Jaden Reed didn't really expect him to come back. I kind of thought he was going to head out, so next year I really expect him to be one of, if not the best, him and that wide receiver from Ohio State to be the top guys in the Big Ten
Ronnie
next
Bell?
year. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
He's coming off a pretty significant injury.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he is. But in that one game he played, he was going ballistic.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so do you know how to pronounce that Ohio State's Jackson Smith?
Oh, no idea.
I don't want to say it.
No.
So he
Not
had
even
that crazy game in the Rose Bowl, 300 some receiving yards. CJ Stroud balled out. They are going to be scary next year. I hate to say it,
I don't even want to think about playing those dudes next year.
Exactly. At least you got the dub against
Michigan
them this
better
year,
come
bro.
fired up, dude.
But yeah, MSU has got Jaden Reed coming back, so we're adding to a pretty young and up-and-coming receiving core with our leader, Jaden Reed. Last college football news, Caleb Williams, quarterback for Oklahoma, unexpectedly enters the transfer portal. This was something that I did not see coming, especially after Spencer Rattler transferred earlier in the offseason. But Caleb Williams said Oklahoma is still possible for him to return. He just sensed there's going to be a new coaching change in Oklahoma. He wants to weigh his options. This is like the biggest quarterback transfer in ever probably
other than Jalen
in
Hurts?
College football. Yeah, Hurts was up there too, definitely.
I mean, Hurts almost won the Heisman
yeah,
one
exactly.
year
Yeah,
before
Hurts
it.
definitely is up there. But yeah, Caleb Williams, I mean, he is going to be a hot commodity for all teams. I really don't know what team he's going to go to.
I heard he's coming to Michigan.
I saw a State fan I follow posted about it. He goes, Caleb Williams, tuck coming, baby. Dude, we are not getting him. And why would, Peyton Thorne is our guy. Yeah, Caleb Williams is better, trust me. But, so we'll see where Caleb Williams goes. Like I said, he definitely could just return to Oklahoma, but I also could see him following Lincoln Riley to USC. So we'll see.
Speaking of that, is this one of those things where, do you think every school in the country, says, yeah, we'll take you kind of deal? Or do you think Michigan
picks, though, yeah.
But do you think Michigan's sitting there going, no, we'll stick with JJ or we'll stick with Cade next year? Those are our guys.
They'll probably stay that, but, yeah, I guess they probably won't be actively recruiting him.
Yeah. I was just curious. Do they, I thought
a lot of teams already kind of have their
QBs.
quarterbacks settled for next year too. So
I mean, at least most of the tops.
Yeah.
Bryce Young's coming back. CJ Stroud, Peyton Thorne is a top 10. Well, not a top 10, but top 10 quarterback. A quarterback of a top 10 team.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say.
And he was our guy this year. Why would we make a change when he's coming back next year as first?
Cade and JJ will be back.
Yeah,
well,
technically, as of right now, Cade and JJ.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that actually for a second. What's the move? Because obviously JJ is. I feel like most Michigan fans can agree they want J.J. McCarthy to be the guy next year. But Cade McNamara is going to be a senior next year. Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't transfer out, you just going to bench him as senior year after he led this team to the college football playoff as a junior?
Part of that whole thing with Cade that makes it so tough is it's not like he was a quarterback for Michigan. He was the face other than Hutch. It was him and Hutch who led this team, were part of the energy, the F Ohio State. JJ does the same thing. JJ just didn't get the starting job this year. So if Cade comes back and you don't start the guy who led this new energy and this new type of football that we started playing, the bully, the underdog football, what are you saying about how much you even trusted him as a player? I get it. JJ's a stud. I really hope Jim Harbaugh is sitting there telling Cade to transfer. I don't want Cade to come back and for it to get ugly. Or I also, as the thing is, I don't want our leader to feel the need to transfer because he thinks he's getting his spot taken.
Right. I know it's honestly a really tough spot that they are in because
do you think JJ
Cade
transfers?
did nothing wrong to transfer, and it's like you can't let JJ transfer. You can't let that happen.
He's gonna. So he could be a Heisman winner.
Do you just tell Cade, hey, like just so you know, like JJ's the starter next year, whether you're here or not.
Imagine telling
that's such a difficult thing to do.
After he's like blood, sweat, and
Took
tears.
you guys to the playoff, beat Ohio State for the first. Like obviously it wasn't strictly him that did it.
He threw for 300.
He's the quarterback of the team, you know.
No,
like,
he didn't throw for 300 in that game.
But still, though, like he's the
was.
QB of the team that beat Ohio State for the first time in almost 10 years. First time in the Harbaugh era. Like,
do you just do quarters? Hey, Cade, you get the first and fourth. JJ, you get the second and third, and we roll. Like, what do you do?
I don't think that's a good formula. Yeah, it's a very stagnant type of.
Just hard to get to a rhythm when you're playing first and fourth.
So that whole situation is going to be very interesting to see how it goes down. I think most likely scenario is Cade transfers because he's not going to go to the draft. I mean, he won't get drafted.
He's not good enough.
So. Oh, you just don't.
God,
worst case scenario is J.J. McCarthy leaves, which I don't think that is going to happen. But at the same time, does he want to sit behind Cade for another year?
Yeah, exactly.
But you also you could bring Cade back and say, all right, he is on a even tighter leash now that J.J. is.
One pick and you're done.
That's what I'm saying. Year. He throws a pick. All right, J.J., you're in now. Until J.J. messes up, you're done.
Yeah,
that might be what happens.
That's an awful way to play football. Worried about making mistakes. Oh, I can't make the mistake or I get benched. That's an awful way to play.
That's kind of how he played all year, I feel like, though. He didn't really make mistakes.
I guess, he didn't make any mistakes.
But he didn't really take risks either.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad way to play. We'll see what happens. So let's talk about the last couple news things. We're still going here on the news. The Washington football team will no longer exist on February 2nd. They will be announcing their new mascot on February 2nd. It's honestly sad. It's a pretty sad day, man.
Oh, I'm pissed.
I think I want to buy a Washington football team shirt. Just a regular team shirt. Just so I can, we lived to see the football team era.
Yeah, we saw the whole thing.
The 2 years, who's going to remember that? No one.
Except for us.
In 30
years,
remember
the Washington
we are
going to
remember the Washington football team. Yeah, they made the playoffs and lost to Tom Brady with Taylor Heineke.
I had Gibson for half a year.
Yeah, I had Gibson this year.
I wanted Terry the whole year, and good thing I didn't.
There's no way what they changed their name to will be cooler than the Washington football team.
They are the Washington football team.
No other team is the Washington football team.
No, they're like Washington University, nothing compared to the Washington.
They are the football team.
Oh my God, it's so cool.
I don't know what they're going to change their name to. We'll see, but hopefully they at least get like a cool logo because I will admit the Washington football team logo is trash. It's garbage. And that W
on the
is
side
not
of their
even,
helmet is so bad.
Oh, it's not even good. So
looks
hopefully
like you
they
threw
get
it together on Word.
I know, it really does.
Yeah, we're going to create our jerseys on Word this year. Word 2012.
Save a couple bucks for the budget next year. Last thing on the news. Michigan basketball just continues to slide. Took on Rutgers the other night. Did you watch the Michigan Rutgers game at all? We watched the whole game.
I think I was at a game.
Geo Baker it was on Wednesday. It was on Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, I was at a game.
Geo Baker balled out for Rutgers, though. He had like 27 points. He really couldn't be stopped. Rutgers was honestly just scoring the ball really well. And I will say Musa and Dickinson together on the floor wasn't the problem. They played pretty well together, but they really just couldn't get stops. And they would kind of cut the lead short. Like, they were getting blown out right from the start. They would cut it to like 5, and then Rutgers would hit a few shots and blow it back out. Michigan takes on Michigan State this Saturday at 2:30. We usually don't play this early in the year. MSU, we beat Nebraska last night to win our 9th straight game. So it's kind of the opposite taking on each other here. This usually doesn't happen, whereas one team is just rolling, the other team is playing bad. And if it is, it's usually the other way around, like last year. So it's at Michigan. I'm not going to get cocky because this is a type of game that MSU will lose, especially when we're hot like this. We're going to Michigan to play, but Michigan State should win this game is what I'm saying pretty much.
This is, like, at first, of Michigan's first 7, I was like, don't really care. Now, it's like, okay, you guys got to start turning it on. Like, there's not that much.
They lose this game, they're 7-7.
And that is horrible.
Yeah, and haven't won a game or be like 1-3 or 1-4 in the conference.
I can't even believe that this Michigan team is this bad. I came in expecting them to hold the number 2 team in the country. all year. Like, I didn't expect them to lose more than 3 games the whole season. They are already 6 losses.
They've already lost twice as many as last year.
Like, I just, and it's tough because I haven't watched enough of them to really give a good opinion. I've only heard enough, but I'm scared to even turn it on at this point. It's because I know I'll get.
I'm not gonna be able to watch the game Saturday, so I mean, I'll probably be able to watch, I guess, a little bit of it, but I just hope the MSU gets the dub. We can't lose to this team that's sliding right now. Max Christie has been absolutely balling out lately. Jaden Akins as well. Both of our freshmen have been popping off. This whole team Michigan State as a team has been playing really good, and I hope we can continue that because usually MSU is a team that gets hot late in the year, not so much early in the year. So I'm not really used to this. I hope we can sustain it because college basketball is a season of runs. It is all about you will get hot and you will get cold throughout the season. MSU really hasn't gotten cold yet, and I'm kind of waiting for it to happen. So hopefully it doesn't start on Saturday. All right, let's talk about NFL weekly picks. Last week was potentially the ceiling deal for Easton. He was up 9-7. We tied the last 2 previous weeks before this week at 9s each time.
Dude, I'm so nervous.
This is huge. So last week we only had 2 primetime games. We both had a very good week, I will say.
Oh,
what's the record?
Dude.
12?
14.
14 was, oh yeah, it was 14. Well, the previous record was 12. Easton tied the previous record, getting 12 out of 16.
There's no way you do better than 12.
However,
no
your
shot.
boy also got 12 out of 16. 3 straight weeks of ties, and we picked a good amount of games differently this past week.
How do you even do that?
You look at the Las Vegas-Indianapolis game. We picked that one different. Kansas City-Cincy was different. There's several games that we picked differently. We still both got 12. So it comes down to the only 2 primetime games. I'm starting with Monday Night Football, Cleveland-Pittsburgh. We both took Big Ben and the Steelers. Wow, what a shocker, and it worked. So it came down to Sunday Night Football. The Kirk Cousins-less Minnesota Vikings against Green Bay.
Dude.
I took the Packers back-to-back weeks that the Packers won me a tiebreaker against you.
Dude, you're gonna become
the
a Packers
tables
fan.
have turned. Like that's something that's something that would have happened to me last year.
Oh.
So I win the 3rd straight tiebreaker. I think I've won every tiebreaker this year. So it is 9-8 heading into the last week of the season. This is pretty crazy.
This could be the biggest choke job.
Because my choke job was bad, but like this could be worse, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it was 5 straight weeks or whatever.
I don't think so either.
This is just crazy how entertaining this is. Like,
how did we tie?
We don't try to do this. We can't. We literally can't try to do this.
Do you know how impressive it would be
it
if
would
we
be
could?
harder to, that we purposely did it. Like, that would be way more impressive.
That's
than
like
this.
getting every question I test wrong. Like, you have to know all the answers if you got every question wrong.
So, we are heading into week 18. To possibly see if I can tie it or if Easton can win, because Easton is now up 9-8. So if we do tie, we did say that we are just going to make the first round of the playoffs count as the tiebreaker. So let's just get into it, man. Weekly picks. The time, maybe. We'll still play the song, actually, even if we don't pick the teams. Because we'll still pick the games, obviously, but it won't matter. But this is the last time you'll hear the weekly pick song, season 2.
Weekly picks, it's the weekly picks. It's the high tempo weekly NFL picks.
Let's hop right into it. We got 3.
I'm gonna miss that.
Why?
That is the most fire song, dude. Like after
I thought you
playoffs
said
are
I'm
over.
gonna fix that.
No, miss that, dude.
I know that's the worst part about no football is we don't have the song to play.
I know we need to create a basketball, just like we love basketball.
Yeah, sure. Let's
Freestyle.
do that. All right, we have 3 primetime games this week, 2 on Saturday, and then 1 Sunday night football. That is it.
I am so nervous.
Let's get it. First, we have the 11-5 Kansas City Chiefs taking on the 7-9 Denver Broncos.
Go Chiefs.
Going with the Chiefs as well. These ones are tough, too, because certain teams have guys sitting, and we kind of don't know 100% yet about some of them, but we're picking them now. It's Thursday, in case you're wondering. Next, we have the 11-5 Dallas Cowboys taking on the 9-7 Philadelphia Eagles Saturday night.
The incredibly tough matchup. This matchup is not easy.
A lot riding on this one.
Going with Philly. I'm taking Philly. I don't know why. I'm going with Philly. Oh, my God. I'm so nervous.
I also took Philly. I feel like they're going to... Both teams have clinched playoffs. Philadelphia did last week, so this game doesn't matter a crap ton because Dallas also has clinched the division. But Dallas could move up in the rate. They're the 4 seed right now. They could move up. Philly could also move up in their spot too. So kind of just depends on who you'd rather play first round. I'm going with Philly though. Next, we have the 13-3 1-seeded Green Bay Packers head into Ford Field to take on your very own 2-13-1 Detroit Lions.
This game sucks. Just that it's week 18.
Right.
What do? I'm a Lions fan. I hate the Packers. The Packers are probably going to win this football game.
Most likely.
I really do think they will.
Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams are. They haven't officially said they're going to play, but it sounds like they are going to play.
It's either play or go to. Or no,
Yeah.
they're going to play and go to church.
Get scared or go to church or whatever.
No, if you're scared, go to church.
Yeah, but there's no reason for them to play. They've clinched the 1 seed, so
Going with Detroit. Taking to the D.
Look,
I can't pick the Packers.
Look, I've took the Packers the last 2 weeks when I didn't want to, but it's because I think they were going to win, and they did. Week 18, the Detroit Lions have pretty much locked themselves into the number 2 overall pick. We could still move to 1, but we can't fall to 3. This is the first time Dan Campbell will take on the Packers at home. This game is a very legendary game. If you are not a Lions fan, this is a game that happens most of the time every year. Lions, Packers. No matter the circumstances, Lions try to win this game. Whether we are moving up in the draft, if we lose, it doesn't matter. This is a game that we always try to win, and that's why I'm taking the Detroit Lions. I want to win this game. I really do. I don't care. Jacksonville's not going to beat Indianapolis, so
I would have been so hot with you if you would have taken GB,
I thought you were going to take Green Bay, and I was like, no, I have to take the Lions here.
I'm the true Lions
I don't know if Jared
fan.
Goff is playing, though. Is Jared Goff playing? I mean, that's a big difference. Tim Boyle's not leading us to victory. So,
dude, TB is only 66,000 passing yards away from all-time leading passer, bro. He's coming.
All right, let's move on. The 9-7 Indianapolis Colts taking on the 2-14 Jags.
Colts.
Can I turn this off? It's kind of hot.
Yeah. It'll turn off in a few seconds.
Yeah, I'm going with the Colts too. Even though there's a lot riding on this game, a bunch of teams.
Only if the Jags win.
A bunch of teams in the AFC need the Jags to win, and it would help the Lions if the Jags won too. But they're not gonna.
It's the Colts.
They're gonna get the first pick. If they lose, then if they win, then they're not. So I'm going with Indianapolis as well.
But then there's the whole everybody's talking about the Colts haven't beat Jacksonville in 8 years or whatever it is, dude. Screw off. They're horrible.
Oh, they haven't? Well, it's now
Done.
they are going to.
That's it. Good try.
Congrats. Next, we have the 6-10 Washington football team against the 4-12 New York Giants.
In honor of it being their last game, being the Washington football team, I'm picking them, dude.
That's exactly why I picked him, man. Look, I'm not about to take Mike Glennon and the New York Giants over the last time the football team plays. I mean, they are the football team.
This is one of the teams that has slowly became my favorite team in the NFL, other than the Lions. But not anymore.
Even though, low-key, they really underperformed this year. They probably should have been way better.
For one season, they were one of my favorite teams in the league.
Yeah.
They won't be anymore.
No, because they're probably going to change their name to something stupid.
We're the Washington Georges or whatever, dude.
Something dumb like that. Yeah.
Washington Memorials.
All right, I'm going with Washington, though. Next, we have an NFC North battle. The 6-10 Chicago Bears taking on the 7-9 Minnesota Vikings.
Easiest game I've ever picked. Minnesota, all day.
I am taking the Chicago Bears in this one.
That's the first game we've picked different. It is. That's the first game.
Yeah, it is.
There's
That's a huge game. Look, bro, I'm taking the Bears because I don't know if you watched Mike Zimmer's post-game conference after their loss against Green Bay, or maybe it was Monday morning even, but it's pretty well known that Mike Zimmer is pretty well hated by most of Minnesota and a lot of their players too. And they asked him because Kirk Cousins obviously is out, and who is the guy that they had start the other day? God, I forget what his name was. Gagnon or something? I don't remember. But they started him over the rookie Kellen Mond, who they took in the 3rd round. And they asked Mike Zimmer, they go, are you going to take a look at Mon next week? Not particularly.
Yeah.
And then they asked him again,
why?
Like, why not? And I forget. He said some snarky response, like just.
I was gonna say snooty.
Something just was just like, bro, you drafted this dude in like the 3rd round. Like he has potential to actually be maybe a quarterback for you at some point. So I feel like the locker room is really not well in Minnesota, and this is probably Mike Zimmer's last game. So it'd be cool to see his last game be a loss.
Yep.
But also Matt Nagy's also probably going to get fired for Chicago too. So
no, I'm playing.
Just both guys are going to get fired. But I'm going with Chicago.
Going Minnesota.
Next, we have the AFC leading 11-5 Tennessee Titans taking on the 4-12 Houston Texans.
The AFC leading, the only team in the NFL with an unstoppable running back in Derrick Henry.
And he's not playing.
And he hasn't played.
But he's coming
He's
back.
back.
Yeah.
He literally just got pulled off IR. I'm taking Tennessee all day. I doubt he'll play in this last game, though.
No, he won't play in this game.
Just got pulled off IR.
But think about it. They win this game. They get the 1 seed. They get a first-round bye, and then Derrick Henry comes back.
Perfect season.
Who's beating that team? Who's...
You couldn't beat them, Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, I love Jonathan Taylor. He's been having a super good year. He should be in MVP talks. But Derrick Henry was having a crazy year before he got hurt. I think people kind of are forgetting how good
he was going to end with a record touchdowns.
Like he was out for like 4 weeks, and he was still first in the NFL in rushing yards. Like it was something crazy.
Does Derrick Henry go number 1 overall next year in fantasy?
Maybe. I really don't know, honestly.
Dude,
Probably.
Fantasy next year is going to be so hard.
Yeah.
Like drafting a team. Where does Jamar go? Where does Jets go? Where does Kupp go?
Where does Jefferson go? Jefferson goes first round, I think, for sure.
Kupp goes first round.
Yeah, Kupp
Devontae goes first round. That's 3 wide receivers first round.
Tyreek goes first round.
4 wide receivers first round? That is nuts.
Yeah. Does Zeke Elliott fall out of the first round? Probably. Kamara, is he like top
probably
5?
Falls out.
He's probably still first round, though, right? Dalvin Cook is still first round, but does he go top
Eckler?
5? Eckler goes first round. Oh, there's a lot of good. That McCaffrey's the toughest part.
Dalvin Cook?
I have him in Dynasty, so I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I think I'm going to keep him. Like, I won the championship without him, so I might as well just keep him. But in a regular, redraft league, where does McCaffrey go?
Dude.
Does he go first round? Like that, he has to. He has to.
When he plays, he's worth 30 points.
Does he go top? When he plays, he's the best player in fantasy.
Other than Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp was unreal.
Yeah, probably. But value-wise, running back-wise, because you can get
so many good wide receivers.
Yeah, exactly. It's tough.
Where does Jamar Chase go? Does Jamar take the jump that Jets does?
Yeah, Jamar's is a really tough one. Because
Jets was a 3rd round pick last year.
Yeah.
Now he'll be a 1st round pick. And he should have been a 1st round pick.
Jamar probably will go probably 4th round. 3rd or 4th round.
Dude, I want him.
Because T. Higgins is up there, too.
Yeah. Oh, my God,
Jamar had that crazy game.
Jalen Waddle.
He's probably, Waddle.
Monter St. Brown.
Waddle might go before Chase, honestly.
Monter St. Brown. Where does he go? He's got to go.
Depends on if we pick up another wide receiver.
It's going to be nuts. I'm so pumped for fantasy.
We should do a fantasy episode before the season starts. Obviously, not right now.
I don't want to be giving fantasy advice. Then we're liable for when somebody takes Jalen Waddle and he flops.
Yeah, facts.
It's on my head.
That is true. What game did we live off at?
Tennessee.
Oh yeah. Next we have, this is a big game as well. Big Ben's last game, the 8-7. Well, actually, maybe not. The 8-7-1 Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the 8-8 Baltimore Ravens.
Going Ravens.
I'm going with the Ravens here too. It's Big Ben's last game, but I feel like they're gonna lose.
He threw 46 pass attempts for 123 yards. The most Big Ben stat line I've ever seen.
That's facts. The Ravens, man. I've picked them the last so many weeks that we both picked them to upset the Rams last week, and they almost did. They have just fallen short.
Dude, they have no weapons.
They could be 12-5 right now, or they literally could be leading their division by a few games. But
they almost lost to Detroit. That should have been a sign. We should have known.
Facts, yeah, they're a bunch of frauds. Either team could still make the playoffs if Indianapolis loses, though. Next, we have the 10-6 Cincinnati Bengals taking on the 7-9 Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns suck. They don't even hand the ball to Nick Chubb. Were you watching that game?
Which
the
one?
Browns game this last week? I don't know who they were playing.
Browns, I forget who. I guess I can.
Oh, it was Pittsburgh. Browns, Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah. I was watching that game.
Were you listening to the announcers?
I don't know if we had the volume on.
They were ripping into Stefanski Is he the Browns?
Oh, yeah, I did hear that.
Why
yeah,
is he
that's
not
right.
giving Nick Chubb the ball?
Because he won Coach of the Year last year, too. And they're like, this is the same guy that won Coach of the Year last year, and they're not giving the ball to Nick Chubb.
Like, the dude averages 6 yards a carry, 5.5.
Also, like, they've been eliminated from the playoffs. Like,
and he's injury prone.
Does it really, like, matter that much?
Give him the ball and let him tear his ACL?
Give it to Dearness Johnson, bro, and just shut up. I'm going with Cincy here, though,
too.
even though Joe Burrow, I don't think is playing. I think a few starters are going to be out, but Cleveland sucks, so I'm
taking Cincy.
Going with Cincy. Next, we have, this is a big game as well, the 9-7 San Francisco 49ers taking on the 12-4 LA Rams.
You want to talk about fun teams to watch? These are two of the most fun. Well,
Yeah.
when the Rams are playing well. But San Fran is so much fun to watch with Debo, and now Kittle is just balling.
Yeah.
Trey Lance had a good game last
Trey
week.
Lance is going to be, he might be an issue, bro. He's good. He could be good.
He could be. I'm taking LA Rams here. Where does Debo Samuel go next year in fantasy?
Oh, dude, yeah. Probably late second round.
Taking him, dude.
I mean, what are we classifying here? 10-man league or 12-man?
10-man.
Because I have most
You
of my
play
leagues are
12.
12-man,
Yeah.
so it's a
It's
little
completely
tougher.
different, yeah.
Yeah, in a 10-man league, he probably goes maybe early third round, honestly. Because think about the amount of guys we just named. I'm taking all of them over, except Jamar Chase, over Debo. So, like,
I don't know, dude. I might
we named like 12 guys.
I might get Debo hella early. Like, I love Debo. What about Raheem Mostert?
I think he's a free agent, so I don't know if
Hell
he's going
no,
to even
then.
be on the Niners.
Anyways,
They'll probably just keep Mitchell.
I
as their
could
guy
talk
next year.
fantasy for so long.
Oh, yeah, so could I.
long.
That's what I'm saying. We could easily do an episode.
We could.
Speaking of fantasy, we do have to do fantasy basketball, make it a dynasty next year.
Oh, yeah.
I think
it'll be
easily
way
need to
better.
do-
I think it'll be way more fun.
Yeah,
Like, with having, I think it'll be so much more
I'm
fun.
excited to do that.
Because I want LaMelo Ball.
Yeah. Then the draft is going to be way more like.
Oh, I'm drafting young.
Yeah, you have to draft young, or you just draft to all the vets and win it first year.
Yeah. Be the first year. Oh, dude, it'll be fun. That'll be way more fun.
I know. I love dynasty leagues. Next, we have the 5-11 Carolina Panthers taking on the 12-4 Tampa Bay Bucks.
Taking the Tampa Bay Bucks. I really hope they can bounce back and they kind of push this whole. Not that the AB stuff needs to be pushed behind because there could be something there. But I hope they at least can finish the season
At least
and then
try
deal
to
with
not focus. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Try to win your Super Bowl, and then but obviously it could be serious. Who
Yeah.
knows? Like,
And if Bruce Arians is an asshole, then screw Bruce Arians. But I don't know that right now.
We don't know.
I'm
we're gonna wait to see till
going Tampa.
what comes out. I'm going Tampa too. I don't know if I said, but I'm going with the Rams in the game before. I don't even think
I'm
we
going
said
with the Rams too.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
like
think we
San
said
Fran
it at
does
all.
need to win to get in, but I'm going with the Rams. Next, we have the 6-10 Seattle Seahawks taking on the 11-5 Arizona Cardinals.
Taking the Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals. Not picking
We
the
have two
Seahawks.
games different right now. I think.
Wait, I think it's just the Bears Vikings.
Oh my God!
Did we
it
do
is,
another
dude.
one different?
No, you're right.
This is so bad.
You're telling me it's.
Next, we have the 10-6 New England Patriots taking on the 8-8 Miami Dolphins.
This could be different. I'm taking the Dolphins.
I'm also taking the Dolphins. I literally originally had New England, and then I erased it right before. Yeah, I'm picking Miami here. Miami, they are eliminated from the playoffs, but they got nothing to lose. I mean, you're already 8-8. Who cares about getting one pick higher? You might as well try and win the last game.
Do it. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm going Miami. Next, we have the 8-8 New Orleans Saints taking on the 7-9 Atlanta Falcons.
I'm taking the Saints here.
Yeah, I'm going with the Falcons here.
Oh, good. Thank God.
The
What a
Saints
bad pick.
could still get in the playoffs. There's a legit, like, the Saints honestly have a pretty good shot at getting in, but I think the Falcons are ruining that.
That seems like the Falcons type
Apparently,
of thing.
Calvin Ridley might be open to a trade this offseason.
Oh, I thought you meant open to play right now.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, dude, if he came back this week, I'd be pissed.
Oh, I'd be
he
so
screwed me
bad.
over this year. Like, he 100%. I
traded them.
I had
But
him and AB. So, like, it just didn't really work out.
nope.
Not lastly. We have the 4-12 New York Jets taking on the 10-6 Buffalo Bills.
Taking Buffalo.
Buffalo for sure. New York's got no reason to win. Sunday Night Football. This is the biggest game possibly ever. The 9-7 LA Chargers taking on the 9-7 Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm going to say who I'm taking first and then explain my logic. I'm taking the Chargers for the simple fact that I would be Chargers are the team out of these two teams I like better.
Right.
I like the Chargers more than I like the Raiders. So if I picked the Raiders and the Chargers won, I would be more upset. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
exactly why I picked the Chargers.
Like, I'd be so mad if
That is
I picked the
literally
Raiders
exactly.
and the Chargers won.
Like, who do I want to win? The Chargers. And this is going to be a really game I want to watch. It's going to be a great game. So obviously I want to be rooting for a team. So I'm a root. I mean, I love Herbert. I want to root for the Chargers. Who do I think is going to win? I kind of think the Raiders are going to win.
Could be. They're fired up.
But I'm not going to pick it because, like you said, if I pick the Raiders and then the Chargers won, especially if you picked them and I didn't, that would be awful.
Horrible.
So we picked all of the same primetime games. So do we want to make Minnesota? Oh, bro,
yes.
that is that is dreadful. I have to root for the Bears to like riding on everything.
I'd rather do that than the freaking New Orleans game.
Yeah, we have to do that. I mean, it's way funnier to do that one. But let's talk about the playoff picture in the NFL.
Real quick, actually. I actually hope the Raiders don't win for the simple fact that I don't think the NFL can afford more DUIs. Like
yeah,
the
one
more
of the
they
corners
win,
got one
dude,
like a week ago.
After 3 hours after the game.
Yeah, exactly.
The game ended and he was drunk
I
driving.
mean, like, they need to just they need to relocate.
Get out of Vegas.
Go back to Oakland. It clearly didn't work.
Go to like some county. Go to a dry county or something, dude.
Come to Midland, Michigan, bro. Like
Midland, a dry county.
No, I'm just saying. Come to just a county that there's just like nothing to do.
You can't do anything. Like Milwaukee.
You can go to a Loons
Very
game.
similar to Milwaukee.
Yeah, like Green Bay. You don't see Green Bay Packers getting in trouble.
Nope. They just light stuff on fire and ride four-wheelers.
So let's talk about the playoff picture. And we're going to talk about the NFC first because it's a lot less complicated. The AFC is way worse. Currently, the Green Bay Packers are the 1 seed. They have clinched the 1 seed. The Rams, Bucks, and Cowboys have all clinched their division, so this will be the top 4. The Rams are at 2, but actually the Rams haven't clinched their division though, so the Rams could fall to 5 if I wrote it down. The Rams just got to win to clinch the division. The Cardinals need the Rams to lose and also need to win. So Cardinals are at 5 right now. They're either going to be 5 or they're going to be in the top 5.
What a good wild card team.
Yeah, I know. And then you have San Francisco. This doesn't make any sense to me. San Francisco is the 6th seed right now at 9-7.